Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountains. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Ryan Tannehill will be orchestrating the offense, the top 10 pick back in 2012.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Ballage. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. Time to feature the offensive starters, and our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And that run That changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. Oh, he pulls over it. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's caught left side by Jay Hunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. So that throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it, and on that play he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there. Heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Adrian Claiborne in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And now a fumble. The ball's out. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room at no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They'll start with a give here to Balaj. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first. Defensively, we check the starters now for Denver. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. And he finds Stills, complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. Now Tannehill firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run here with Balaj. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. And incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. They're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe-tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, Tannehill. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To the air again, Tannehill. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Back to throw now on first down. They will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And here's Marshall. Powering forward and taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 10 more there and another first down.
the reason that counter and misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction it starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look, and now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here, but the play is actually happening over there, and that's where running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to Denver right after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in, enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Left side here to Sanders. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
You gotta love everything about that run, except for maybe a couple of things. You gotta wonder, do you fight a little harder to get into the end zone instead of going out at the 2-yard line? And I know one thing. The fantasy football guys, they are not too happy that he went out of bounds there instead of trying to get into the end zone.
They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up third and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Set. 3-19.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up fourth.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Now, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Tannehill. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Ballage. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. This is taken at the 23. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This just a 24-yard attempt. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL.
Everyone back for quarter number 3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And an alley to run. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. In for the score. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes our score 17-0. A spectacular return of 96 yards. Great blocking in front of him on special teams as well as he takes it to the end zone. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They run it with Balaj. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Third and long, it's Tannehill. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Brian Orakpo able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 15. Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
All right, here we go.
Now Marshall. And an alley to run. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll look to throw now on first down. Complete outright to Jake Butt. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
All right, here we go. Blue, landing.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So now here come the Dolphins. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Tannehill now running the option to the right side. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a third down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as they'll go for it on fourth down.
30.
They snap it to Tannehill. And yes, he found Torlolo. And he's taken down inside the 30. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on fourth down.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that fourth down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the fourth. Tannehill throwing again. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Tannehill with a hook up to Parker for the Dolphin first. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Yep.
Throwing again is Tannehill. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. They'll give it to him up the middle, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. This is 3rd and goal, still looking for the first points of the game. Tannehill now to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's a run with Balaj. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak.
And he's going to go down, sacked back at the 13-yard line. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now Tannehill. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss.
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Parker, the intended target. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field with this lead and the football. Things obviously looking good, but maybe... you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. And hang on here, Freeman shaken up. Remaining on the ground after that last play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and the nose of the football.
All right, here we go. Green.
They'll hand off to Booker. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
The fullback, Janovich, on the handoff. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Single receivers. Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Broncos on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Broncos on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Marquette King now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. On the right side open is Gesicki. And he will handle first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now Tannehill. Throwing right, and that's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. On first down, it's Tannehill. He's going to let it fly. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him. Complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
He's going to let it fly. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Broncos are able to recover, and that should just about wrap this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Broncos, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7.